Kia ora guys, welcome back to the Black Jersey. My name's Max and a big warm welcome to all my new viewers. Remember to subscribe if you enjoy my content, and a big thank you to my patrons. Today's video is going to be a Pacific Island 15. There was a Pacific Islanders team very similar to the British and Irish Lions last played in the 2000s, and I thought I'd make a video similar to that talking about reviving this team. The eligibility criteria is, of course, players need to either be currently playing for a Pacific Island nation. If they don't currently play for an island nation, they need to have ancestry from one of the island nations. These nations in particular are Tonga, Samoa and Fiji, as they are all world-class nations who really just punch above their weight. To start off, we'll get through my replacements, then I'll name the backs, followed by the forwards. My replacements start with the replacement hooker, of course, Sam Matavesi. He's had a very long career in the Premiership over in England, and of course he is Fiji's first choice hooker by the looks of things right now, so you got to put your bets on this guy. He's very good. Alan Ala'alatoa and Tani Alatupo are then going to be my replacement props. Ala'alatoa is out of position, I know, but you cannot ignore the supreme form he was in 2022. He scrummed so hard, he kept Tupou out of the starting lineup for the Wallabies. And to balance this video out, I do need to get a few Australian representatives. And of course, Alan's brother Michael plays as the Samoan captain as well. Taniela Tupou, everyone knows him as the Tongan Thor, though he grew up wanting to be a Wallaby. In his boarding house, everyone else wore All Blacks jerseys, but he was like, nah, go the Wallabies. And man, he is pretty much everything you want from a prop. Big, fast, powerful, quick ruck speed, awesome scrummaging, so good. I've then got Via Fafita as my replacement lock. He can cover blindside flanker as well. Very strong, former All Black, plays for Tonga and the Scarlets over in Wales right now. I loved watching him in his prime and he's still active, so I gotta have him in there. Now over to Viliami Mata. He is one heck of a replacement number 8. He's unbelievable. As I do have two open side flankers in my starting 15, I thought I would go and name a replacement number 8 to cover my spine. Mata is very powerful. He's loved by Edinburgh over up there. And he's a magnificent tackler as well. Great technique in that part of his game. My replacement halfback is Frank Lamani, also a Fiji. I've liked him for a very long time and he's got a brilliant kicking game. Lem Sopawanga, former All Black, I've named him as the reserve first 5. Sopawanga was brilliant in his prime and he's still active playing over in Lyon right now. So I thought I'd better pick him, as I wasn't 100% sure about Christian Lealiafano, as he did miss the NPC in 2020. My replacement's utility back is Bundy Aki. Had a heck of a time in the Chiefs, then moved over to Ireland. He's getting pretty close to 50 tests right now, and I love the way he plays. As you do want a bit of power coming off the bench, I thought he would be a safe bet, plus he'll add a lot of experience. While we also have a reserve fullback already at the starting lineup, so we're good over there. Into the starting 15, I'm going to tell you my fullback first. It's Israel Folau, one of the legends of the game. It was basically pioneered by him to have a big, tall, powerful fullback who's good under the high ball. In his prime, he was the world's best under the high ball. He now plays for Tonga, as he did get removed from his Australian contract. He's playing so brilliantly over in Japan though, so it's okay. Even though he's played one test for Tonga, I've got to have the dude in this team. He is one of the world's very best. Now to the right wing, Joe Kokonasiga. He's not quite in favour with the England coach Steve Borthwick right now, but quite simply, nobody in England can do what he does. He's a brute with ball in hand, and I think he's a much better defender as well than a lot of people believe him to be. Hopefully he's going to get a recall for England ahead of the World Cup, because they really need him on that left wing to get things sorted. I thought I'd go for Kokonasiga at 14, as I wasn't really sure who to put here, so it's alright, I got him as a safe bet. My midfield pairing now is David Havili and Semi Radradra. Havili is very good in combination with my first choice 10. He's got a brilliant kicking game. He's a lot more powerful rather than you would think as well. He went from 88 kgs to 96 kgs within 1 year after bowel surgery. He is a massive hitter on defense as well, so you've got to have him in this team. Semi Radradra, I would continue to have him in my top 100 players of the world, but he hasn't played for Fiji for a wee while. What he does, however, do is do a lot of amazing things for the Bristol Bears, so you've got to have him in there. Over on the left wing, I've gone for Rieko Ioane, who I do prefer at centre, but the thing is, when you've got a guy like Randraja, well, you can't exactly ignore him, as Rieko Ioane was the highest ranked Pacific Islander who can play the outside backs. In my top 100 for 2022, I thought, you know what, let's go back to his old days, put him back on the left wing where he used to star for the All Blacks. The number 10 I was alluding to earlier is Richie Mo'unga of the Crusaders and the All Blacks. Getting very close to 50 tests right now. Back in 2021 and 2020, he was the world's best 10. He's got very good goal kicking. He's got a wicked step. He can squat 200 kgs as well, so he's not exactly one to shy away from the hard stuff on D, though a few people, for whatever reason, don't rate him as a defender. I love his game management as well. Something I've noticed across time is Pacific Island nations sometimes seem to lack a good decision-making 10. As Mo'unga is so good in this role, I think it's perfect to have him in the 10 jersey for his game management, his pace, his elusive passing, and of course, his surprising amount of strength. Over at number 9, I've gone for Jonathan Taumatieni from Samoa. He does actually play for them internationally, so he rounds out our backs. He seems to get just a little bit more game time for Samoa and Moana Pasifika, his club, than Nari, who he works in a 1-2 punch with. If I was selecting a third choice, I'd probably put a Nari there. But over to Taumatieni, he's really grown a lot as a player in the last few years. He was just brimming with confidence on his debut for Samoa, and he's become a really integral part of their spine in today's day. They rely on him for a lot of the good decision making. He's got a nice boot on him too, and that passing game, of course, you can't go wrong there. You need a halfback who passes well. Now we're going to get over to the forward pack, and I'll go for the props first. So I've got Mako Vunipola as my loose head prop. He has Tongan ancestry but was born in New Zealand, then moved to the United Kingdom, and he's played over 70 tests for England. His brother Billy's not on the team as he's been erratic form, but Mako, he's still playing very well for a guy in his 30s. He is a great scrummager with quick ruck speed, and he makes a lot of tackles as well. These days he's doing a great job being an impact player for the English. And you know what, guys? As he's available, you gotta have him in here. We're now over to my first choice hooker for this Pasifika 15. It has to be Samisoni Taukei'aho, who was born in Tonga. He then went to St. Paul's Collegiate in Hamilton, New Zealand. He's since racked up about 50 or so caps for the Chiefs. I think he was on 59 last time I checked. He's got quite a lot of minutes in the Ian Foster era for the All Blacks as well. He currently ranks as their second choice hooker behind Cody Taylor. Samisoni Taukei'aho is the ideal impact player for this team because he's a brilliant line-out thrower with a real eye for the try line. He was the All Blacks' top try scorer with 7 in 2022. His hits on defense are just beast mode. You cannot coach true power like the stuff Samisoni Taukei'aho brings onto the pitch, so I had to have him as my hooker because he's also a very intelligent player. Now over to tight head prop Wayne Atonio. I caused a bit of controversy the other day when I said he shouldn't have got a red card against the Irish, and guys, some people are probably going to start a conspiracy theory thing. He's my favourite player. That has to be my number 8, rather. Anyway, Wayne Atonio, phenomenal player. He is a very good carrier, and he's got very good hands as well. Look at all the subtle things he does, like the offload, the wee pop passes that he brings onto the pitch. It's very rare for a big guy to have such good hand-eye coordination. At 6'5" and 152 kgs, he is a titan in the scrum as well. He will smash you backwards all day, every day if you scrummage against him. We're now over to the second row, the locks. Will Skelton is going to be my number 4. He's been a bit out in the cold for Australia as he did move to the United Kingdom in 2017 to play for Saracens. He's now based in La Rochelle playing lock for them. 6'8" and 140 kgs. He is a titan in the scrum. Very solid liner option with that height. And of course his ruck speed is not too bad for a guy that's that tall. He does a few nice things like the old offload here and there, and his carrying, you gotta go low to stop a big guy like this. Australia will hopefully give him a few more caps as well, as Eddie Jones appears to be keen to end the Gitto's law and he wants to just pick as many overseas players as possible. My number 5 is Chris Vui, who does play for Samoa himself. He's one of the legends of their game. He's captained them a few times, and he is in the leadership group for Bristol Bears too. Ferocious carrier with hard hits on defense and a very, very solid line-out option as well. You cannot go wrong with experience in the number 5 jersey. Over into the loose forwards now. With my number 6, I have Theo McFarland, who plays for Saracens and for Samoa. I've liked the look of this guy a fair bit when I've watched Samoa lately, and I thought that because I have 2 open side flankers in my starting 15, I do need to have this bloke in at 6 to balance the lineouts, as he does play flanker every now and again for Saracens. There's no harm in it. I like the look of him a lot, and I'm hoping he's going to be one of Samoa's breakout stars of the 2023 Rugby World Cup. In at number 7, I have Solomone Funaki, who plays for Tonga. He's been a very, very good asset for us over here in Hawke's Bay for a very long time. He later went on to score the first ever try in Super Rugby for Moana Pasifika. He won a lot of turnovers for them in his first season. He's about to start another season with them right now, and he became the vice captain there of Tonga, in just his second test cap. So humble, so good at leadership, and of course he does nothing wrong on D. He is the exact kind of open side flanker you want, and that is why the world's best player, Ardie Savea, has to go to number 8. I ranked him as the best player in the world for a reason in 2022, because he's the complete package: offloading, carrying, try scoring, tackling, jackling. He does get lifted in the line at a surprising amount as well for a guy that's just 6'2". Look no further than having a guy like Ardie Savea as your number 8 if you're ever drawing up your own Pacific Island World 15. Now that I've gone through the players I've selected for this Pasifika 15, I want to hear what you guys have in your lineup in the comments. Tell me what lineup you would pick for a Pasifika 15. It's going to be very interesting to read those comments. I'm excited to see what you guys have to bring to the table. There's quite a lot of players I know that I'm going to hear. I'm excited to see what you guys have to say once more. Thank you so much for watching the video, guys. Cheers from Max.